it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexuality, my asexual life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content, if you find it useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form, or just want to give this channel some love. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Now, if you didn't know, there is the first ever soap in the UK to be having an asexual character, and that character is Liv in Emmerdale. So if you are new to Soapland in the UK, there's about 4 major soaps. One's called Hollyoaks, one's called Emmerdale, one's called Coronation Street, and the other one's EastEnders. And they've been going for a long time, and Emmerdale usually has a prime time slot at 7 p.m. often in the UK, which is when people usually come home from work, had or are having their food, and they're just, watching the TV. Now, I personally don't watch TV, but I used to be a soap addict, and I did used to watch TV, and I used to watch Emmerdale religiously. And so it's really important to know that Liv is asexual. And I was speaking to my mum, and she said that Liv's asexual character comes out more this coming week. So I was really interested to hear more about that, because she didn't fully come out to everyone in Emmerdale as asexual. It's kind of like a lot in the media that she was asexual. I think she said about not having sexual feelings and stuff. But as far as I know, up until this point, the word asexual, up until these kind of like recent times, asexual has not been something that she's actually said in previous years as the character. So I just think this is very, very good for asexuality. I think it's absolutely incredible that there's a female character who is asexual on a prime time television slot. Now, she's asexual in the TV program, and I just think it's a really good storyline. So in terms of like the publicity, the write-ups and stuff, there's a write-up basically about Liv, and possibly Vinny is interested in Liv. And it says in this article, Liv is the first asexual character in a soap. People who are asexual do not have sexual feelings or associations towards someone. So I just think this is really good. If you're not aware of what Liv looks like, that's Liv. And it's just good that there's a sexual representation. And because she's been in a relationship before with a guy called Jacob, there's pretty much evidence to suggest that she's a romantic asexual, that she isn't still interested in a relationship, but that she isn't interested in sex being involved. However, I think from looking at Liv, to me, there are also signs that she's aromantic, in the sense that when I see her with other guys, I don't actually see her doing that much romantic stuff. In the past, when I was watching the soap, I used to see her playing video games and kind of hanging out, but I didn't really see that much romance going on. I know she kissed a girl, which obviously would imply there is romantic notion there. So I don't know if they're going to put her as romantic and keep her a romantic asexual, or if they're going to actually change her to being an aromantic asexual. I just get a feeling that she's got some aromantic traits. I don't know what you think. I don't know if you've watched Emmerdale at all, but I thought I'd give you a heads up that the asexual storyline is supposed to be evolving more in Emmerdale, and they're supposed to be actually using the word asexual a lot more than they have done in the past. And I just think, the more we have asexual representation, soaps are better. Now, I did watch Coronation Street when I was over my parents', and that was quite some time ago. And they did actually use the word asexual in conversation about someone, that's like being asexual. They said, oh, is that person asexual? So it has been mentioned in other soaps, but they haven't actually had asexual character before the one in Emmerdale. Obviously, like everything in soapland, once someone gets hold of the news that, you know, a soap is doing an asexual character, others usually follow suit. I did do a video about this some time ago about you know, Liv being asexual, but I was very disappointed at that time that mostly it was just in the media. It was in like newspapers, articles, online, that Liv is asexual. What does asexual mean? It wasn't really discussed as what asexuality actually is in the soap, which I was a bit disappointed in, to be honest. I actually know, oh, well, I'm connected to someone off the soap, and a long time ago I gave them a copy of my Asexual Perspectives book to help them with the storyline, via a social media. So I don't know if that has any impact on what they do or are doing with the character, but it's one of the people that deals with the writing and producing of the show. So I thought it would be useful for them to have that, you know, proper knowledge rather than just what they think is asexual. It's better to share the asexual experiences. So if you weren't familiar with my Asexual Perspectives book, this is the one, and it's got 47 real life asexual stories in it. So obviously, if you are someone who's going to do a play or something to do with asexuality, you know, it's really good to read this book and actually discover how real life asexual experiences are in terms of love, life, and sex. You know, this book was published in 2017. It's pretty much the first ever book that's written to do with asexuality, specifically centering around love, life, and sex. You know, so it's a really, really good, interesting read, very insightful. It's, you know, there's a lot of information about how difficult it is to live in a sexualized world. It talks a bit about BDSM, kinks, pornography, masturbation in regards to can asexuals watch and do that, and how do they feel about it. It talks about the difference between sexual attraction, sexual desire, and arousal. And there's just lots of questions like, when did you find out you're asexual? What advice would you give to other people who are just discovering asexuality for the first time? That type of thing. So it's a really good book to have. So, you know, I think it's much better if you have a soap that's actually got some knowledge of what asexuality is in real life context. You know, I think there's so much misunderstanding around asexuality. And I think, you know, if you're not careful, you know, we could end up with a situation where, you know, it's not represented. Thanks for the thumbs up, where it's not represented very well. And that's, you know, we don't want to be in a position where that's the case, because, you know, we want asexuality to be recognized as a sexual orientation. There is the lack of sexual attraction. I know that there are tons of different types of asexuals. You know, there are, asexuality is a spectrum, but I think it's very important in soaps to have someone who's a character that doesn't experience sexual attraction at all, so that people can understand from a young age that it's all right to not want sex in a relationship, and you can still get a relationship. Like I said, like Liv was with Jacob in a relationship. Unfortunately, Jacob was with the, you know, having sexual relations with the teacher, which was a paedophile type of story that they ran for a while. And now she's got interest from Vinny in the soap. So, you know, it'd be good if they showed her with a boyfriend and actually him committing to her without sex. I'd really, really like to see that happen. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously the storyline that Liv had with Jacob originally, where he was seeing the teacher as a paedophile actually having sex, kind of like magnified the stereotype of, oh, you can't have a relationship without sex because it won't work and the person will be off with someone else. Do you know what I mean? It kind of antagonizes that stereotype. I mean, I never realized I say asexual for years. I have been cheated on in the past, probably some of which was to do with the fact I didn't want sex that often or at all. You know, I mean, I didn't really want it. I wasn't really bothered about it at all. But, you know, there's times when, like with one long relationship, I didn't have it for years. Do you know what I mean? And so, you know, I think there's a danger if you are asexual of getting into a relationship that, you know, where people do cheat on you. Oh, Marcella, speaking English. Lots of love to you. Good night to you. Here we are already in spring. It must be beginning of autumn there. And in fact, we are now in the sign of Libra. Oh, the sign of Libra, which is balancing the scales. Actually, Libras and Taurians, I'm Taurus, go well in love. We're kind of like love compatible match. So that's nice to know. Thank you for sharing. Lots of love to you. Nice to see you again. So, you know, I would like to see Liv as a Emmerdale asexual character in the soap. I would like to actually see her be in a long-term committed relationship where sex is definitely not, a lack of sexual, I say, is definitely not the problem. I really want to see what I don't want to see with Liv is them killing her off or them doing something horrible to her character. So, do you know what I mean? To basically say, well, if you're asexual, then you can't have a long-term, loving, lasting, caring relationship. Do you know what I mean? Because there was talk a while ago about killing her off, like months ago, about killing her off, you know. And I really hope they don't do that because we need asexual representation and we need a permanent asexual character. You know, there's a lot of things that can go on in the asexual world and life that they could make stories out of. You know, they could make stories out of the way we are actually treated, the way people don't believe us, the way we're shunned by society a lot of the time, the way we're, you know, the way we're criticized for our sexual orientation, the way people don't understand it, the way people say stuff that's really rude to us, the way people ask us questions that are very harassing or completely rude and ignorant. Do you know what I mean? And so I really hope that if they're going to do a dramatic storyline, because obviously sex sells, having affairs sells, you know, that's why they do it. That's why they do it in soaps, betrayal and all that lot, right? So what I would like to see if they're going to put drama in a soap to do with an asexual character, I would like it to be around other things, but I would also like it to be around, you know, like some things to do with ace-phobia, for example, and to also do with, you know, like how asexuals are treated in society and by people. I'd like to, if they're going to show some kind of like nastiness with it, they always like to do in every single character in soap. They like to change around. They like them to have affairs or to start arguing or to start deceiving or lying or cheating. This is why I don't watch the soaps. I don't watch the soaps usually because I don't like the lying, the cheating, the rape, the sex. Do you know what I mean? It's just very, very negative. Lots of soaps are built on relationships breaking up because if they keep people in the same relationships, a lot of the time it's not fun and exciting for the people watching because it's just like, this is normal life. Do you know what I mean? So I really hope with Liv's character that they actually, if they're going to create some drama around her character, it's to do with how people perceive asexuality and how they mistreat us and are misinformed and misunderstand us. Ace Man Richard Howard. Oh, hello. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. I'm just talking about asexual representation in a soap opera called Emmerdale in the UK. And Liv is asexual. That was the first soap to have an asexual character, but they haven't actually come out very much about her asexuality. They've hinted it. They've said stuff about her not having sexual feelings, but for the previous year, you know, like 2019, as far as I know, I mean, I don't tend to watch the soaps. My parents do. My mum watches it religiously, and she keeps an eye on the asexual storyline for me. And you know, like in previous year, when I, you know, even when I've been around there and seen it, they have hinted at asexual. Right? They've said about not having sexual feelings, but haven't actually used the word asexual. But my mum was like, "Oh, it's in the magazine, the TV guide, or that she's basically." I think it's a TV guide or the paper, whatever my parents get, that says that Liv's, you know, talking about being asexual in this coming week's episode, I think it is. So there was mention of it this Thursday happening, but I also saw an article saying next Monday. So I'm not entirely sure which episode it is, but within the next 7 days, Liv's supposed to be talking more about being asexual. And so whilst I said it's absolutely fantastic, we've got asexual representation, I only hope they do the character justice. And I only hope really they have a long-term committed relationship with someone who's asexual, you know, like a relationship based on not having sex. I would really love to see that in a soap opera without them killing her off, without the guy having an affair and stuff like that. Because I just think we need positive reinforcement of the fact that you can love and live and be happy in a committed relationship without sex. And, you know, if there's going to be any tension and drama, it should be the fact of how asexuals are treated, you know, because like I said, I mean, I write non-fiction books, as you know, but I don't know if you know something about me. As I used to be into, well, years ago, I started writing a fiction novel. Sorry, I started writing a fictional novel, and I'm really good at writing drama. And whenever you're doing soaps, you have to create drama. But the thing is, with drama, you always have to do something dramatic and emotional pulling. So it has to be like love, death, some disgusting stuff like murder, rape, viral acts, abuse, all this type of stuff, which is why I don't usually write fiction anymore. It's just too much for my mind. And I really get into character. I get into the mind of the character, and I don't want to be feeling like I'm in abusive situation, you know. Ace Man Richard, I wish there was a soap that did that here in the States. Wonder if that soap is on BBC America. It's on ITV, Richard. In the UK, it's ITV. So I don't know if you get ITV, because BBC is the opposite channel. They're kind of in competition, so it's on ITV. So but it might be on, sometimes they have a channel on YouTube called Emmerdale, which is the name of the soap. Sometimes they have clips from it. I think they have, I'll see if I can get it up. They did have Emmerdale on YouTube, so sometimes they have it on YouTube. Tonight's Emmerdale on YouTube. So they tend to have clips. They don't tend to have the whole thing. So this is like the Emmerdale. You don't have that channel, yeah. I mean, I would subscribe to that Emmerdale. This is the channel Emmerdale, so you can subscribe and see clips from the actual soap opera itself, even if you don't. It has different videos and stuff, so even if you don't actually have the access to the TV channel, you can subscribe to their YouTube or just view their YouTube if you don't want to subscribe. And it has clips, so it usually has you know, trailers. It has like you know, like 2 or 3 minutes of footage from it. So I don't tend to watch soaps these days, but like 4 months ago, this is Liv. Oh, 8 sites for oh god, I can't put it on. Oh, that's when she's doing ABBA. But you know, because I can't, because YouTube get funny if you play stuff. They start putting warnings on you. But anyway, you can oh god, sorry, trying to get rid of it. Anyway, there's lots of clips on there, so you can go to the clips and you can see them. You'll probably see back when she's talking about asexuality, but isn't saying really the words asexual. And I did an actual video about it on this channel a while ago. I think it was over a year ago now, about her coming out as asexual, but not really coming out, if you know what I mean. So I just think it's good that a major like soap is having an asexual character, and I really hope to develop much more of an asexual storyline. My mum says that that's what they're basically going to do in the coming episodes, but I really hope they do that, because to me it's in the media like, oh, she's asexual, but they haven't made a big deal about it in the soap. And it's like, if you're going to have an asexual character, why not really make it prominent in people's faces and actually show what asexuality really means and focus on it a lot more, you know? Because I think just having conversations in the media about her being asexual but not so much in the soap is not very beneficial to asexuals. It's almost like, well, she's asexual, we know she is, but it's like silence. And you know, asexuals get enough of that in real life, you know, like doing things in secret. I mean, I guess that's why you could argue that's why they're trying to represent it, is that most people don't shout about their asexuality. So that could be more why they're more quiet in the soap about it. But I do think they could have a lot more storylines with Liv having conversations with other people and like really trying to explore asexuality more, and maybe, you know, you catch her reading books of asexuality, you catch her like watching movies to do with asexuality on YouTube. You know, you see her exploring different parts of the spectrum, maybe, or just talking to a, you know, like a counsellor or something about it. I mean, in a way, counsellor, you could say, like, it then seems like there's a problem, but then the counsellor could have been the one who says, you know, you're just asexual. But I don't think they're probably going to bring a counsellor in now, because obviously she's comfortable as she is, which is great. So that's very positive. But it's just like, you know, I think there should be a lot more conversations in the soap itself about asexuality and about her being asexual and what that means and how it impacts her life, rather than them talking about it all in the media and newspapers, but really they're not making that big a deal of it in the soap. You know, it's all the usual big storylines between people who are been around a while in the soap, you know. And so I really hope that they do change that and they give her a lot more publicity, and, you know, they show her asexual character a lot more in terms of being, you know, in her, you know, living her asexual life, as it were. Because I haven't really heard her say very much like, oh, I'm fed up of talking about sex, or being disinterested. And she says she's disinterested in it, but it's very different to actually, you know, it's not been very centered to actually a major storyline on Emmerdale. I would like to see it a major storyline. I would like to see it much more prominent, because I think that, you know, in order to be saying they're the first ones to have an asexual character, why not make a big deal of it more in the actual soap itself than just talking about it in the media and just mentioning I don't have sexual feelings. I mean, it's good, but it's not enough. We need a lot more powerful, strong representation. We need a lot more people to know about asexuality, you know, not sweep it under the carpet or just know a little bit about it. We need to, you know, prominent. That's what I'm trying to say. So I really hope that they do progress the asexual storyline with Liv. I hope it grows and grows and grows and develops, and that viewers really get to grasp what asexuality is in the soap, and they really understand her character, you know. So I don't know what, you know, if you've got any asexual representation much in the media over there. I mean, obviously asexuals in the media are kind of like hard to find, not there. I mean, there's talk about, you know, someone in Sherlock Holmes being asexual, like one of the doctors in Doctor Who, or is the Doctor himself asexual. There's talk about asexual in BoJack Horseman, I believe. There's an asexual vampire, I believe, in one of the programs as well. So there are like, you know, there are like meant to be some asexuals in films or movies or series or characters, you know. But I really hope they get a lot more asexual representation. And then I just think, you know, the more media publicity we have, the absolute better, really. Anyway, that's all we wanted to say for tonight. So yeah, I hope you had a great Ace Day. I wish you a lot of love. And if you haven't already, you know, seen Emmerdale, it's the same here. Oh, bless you. If you haven't already seen Emmerdale, I would say to check out the channel. I think they've got clips originally from when Liv was with Jacob. And I think they might have got bits when she spoke about her asexuality before in the soap. Just didn't make it very prominent. So I would say check out the Emmerdale YouTube channel, spelled Emmerdale, and search their videos for Liv and asexuality, and it should come up with something. And so at least you'll have something to go on then if you don't live in the UK. And if you do live in the UK, don't forget to look out for her upcoming storylines, because hopefully they're going to be really good. I'm very, very hopeful. Anyway, I'm going to leave you for tonight. Thank you so much, Richard, for tuning in. I wish you a very beautiful day. And so, yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and hit the great big bell icons to get notified of every time I go live right now, post new video. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. Thanks for the thumbs up. Take care. Lots of love to you. Thanks, Richard, for being here. Lots of love. And Marcelo, take care. Brace your cruggy and each other's. Bye.